Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Cut or shape with a die. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. She died from cancer. Lose sparkle or bouquet. Stop operating or functioning. The car died on the road. A small cube with 1 to 6 spots on the 6 faces, used in gambling to generate random numbers. A cutting tool that is fitted into a D-stock and used for cutting male, external, screw threads on screws or bolts or pipes or rods. A device used for shaping metal. Be brought to or as if to the point of death by an intense emotion such as embarrassment, amusement, or shame. We almost died laughing during the show. Disappear or come to an end. Their anger died. Feel indifferent towards. She died to worldly things and eventually entered a monastery. Languish as with love or desire. Suffer or face the pain of death. Martyrs may die every day for their faith. Suffer spiritual death. Be damned, in the religious sense. Whosoever believes in me shall never die. To be on base at the end of an inning, of a player. Cut or shape with a die. Become extinct. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Become stultified, suppressed, or stifled. Become or cause to become obstructed. Wring the neck of. The man choked his opponent. A coil of low resistance and high inductance used in electrical circuits to pass direct current and attenuate alternating current. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Impair the respiration of or obstruct the air passage of. Struggle for breath. Have insufficient oxygen intake. Suppress the development, creativity, or imagination of. Reduce the air supply. Choke a carburetor. Be too tight. Rub or press. Cause to retch or choke. Constrict someone's throat and keep from breathing. A valve that controls the flow of air into the carburetor of a gasoline engine. Breathe with great difficulty, as when experiencing a strong emotion. She choked with emotion when she spoke about her deceased husband. Check or slow down the action or effect of. She choked her anger. Fail to perform adequately due to tension or agitation. The team should have won hands down but choked, disappointing the coach and the audience. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Pass out from weakness, physical or emotional distress due to a loss of blood supply to the brain. Come to a stop. Hit, especially on the head. The stranger conked him and he fainted. Informal term for the nose. A harsh hoarse utterance, as of a frog. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Utter a hoarse sound, like a raven. Make complaining remarks or noises under one's breath. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. The event of dying or departure from life. Upon your decease, the capital will pass to your grandchildren. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Move out of or depart from. An opening that permits escape or release. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Euphemistic expressions for death. Lose the lead. The act of going out. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Expel air. Lose validity. My passports expired last month. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Follow a certain course. How did your interview go? Have a particular form. As the saying goes, move away from a place into another direction. Perform as expected when applied. The washing machine won't go unless it's plugged in. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. How fast does your new car go? Be in the right place or situation. Let's put healthcare where it belongs, under the control of the government. A usually brief attempt. A board game for two players who place counters on a grid. The object is to surround and so capture the opponent's counters. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Make a certain noise or sound. Lead, extend, or afford access. This door goes to the basement. Street names for methylenedioxymethamphetamine. Continue to live and avoid dying. Begin or set in motion. Ready, set, go. Stop operating or functioning. To be spent or finished. The money had gone after a few days. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. It's my go. Blend or harmonize. This sofa won't go with the chairs. Go through in search of something. Search through someone's belongings in an unauthorized way. Enter or assume a certain state or condition. Get going. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Can I go now? Give support to, or make a choice of, one out of a group or number. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. His knowledge doesn't go very far. Follow a procedure or take a course. We should go farther in this matter. Be the right size or shape. Fit correctly or as desired. Progress by being changed. The speech has to go through several more drafts. Be abolished or discarded. These ugly billboards have to go. Be or continue to be in a certain condition. Be ranked or compare. This violinist is as good as Juilliard-trained violinists go. Be spent. Functioning correctly and ready for action. All systems are go. pass, fair, or a lapse of a certain state of affairs or action. How is it going? Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Move past. A black limousine passed by when she looked out the window. Eliminate from the body. Grant authorization or clearance for. A usually brief attempt. Success in satisfying a test or requirement. His future depended on his passing that test. Come to pass. Of advancing the ball by throwing it. A team with a good passing attack. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. A document indicating permission to do something without restrictions. The media representatives had special passes. Cause to pass. She passed around the plates. Be superior or better than some standard. Transmit information. Pass along the good news. Go unchallenged. Be approved. Pass over, across, or through. Place into the hands or custody of. Sports. The act of throwing the ball to another member of your team. The pass was fumbled. Pass into a specified state or condition. Make laws, bills, etc. or bring into effect by legislation. They passed the amendment. A difficult juncture. A pretty pass. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. A permit to enter or leave a military installation. He had to show his pass in order to get out. Pass by. A bad or difficult situation or state of affairs. Travel past. The sports car passed all the trucks. Disappear gradually. The pain eventually passed off. American football. A play that involves one player throwing the ball to a teammate. The coach sent in a passing play on 3rd and long. Baseball. An advance to first base by a batter who receives 4 balls. The location in a range of mountains of a geological formation that is lower than the surrounding peaks. We got through the pass before it started to snow. An automatic advance to the next round in a tournament without playing an opponent. Go successfully through a test or a selection process. She passed the New Jersey bar exam and can practice law now. Be inherited by. Use up a period of time in a specific way. Any authorization to pass or go somewhere. The pass to visit had a strict time limit. Accept or judge as acceptable. The teacher passed the student although he was weak. A complimentary ticket. The star got passes for his family. A flight or run by an aircraft over a target. The plane turned to make a second pass. Allow to go without comment or censure. The insult passed as if unnoticed. Go across or through. We passed the point where the police car had parked. Military, a written leave of absence. He had a pass for 3 days. One complete cycle of operations, as by a computer. It was not possible to complete the computation in a single pass. Throw a ball to another player. Smith passed. Transfer to another, of rights or property. Our house passed under his official control. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Go out of existence. She hoped that the problem would eventually pass away. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. The children perished in the fire. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Leave quickly. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Lose sparkle or bouquet. Lose interest or become bored with something or somebody. Become less interesting or attractive. Cause surfeit through excess though initially pleasing. A sudden numbing dread. Lose sparkle or bouquet. Wine and beer can pall. Cause to lose courage. Hanging cloth used as a blind, especially for a window. Burial garment in which a corpse is wrapped. Cause to become flat. Pall the beer. Cover with a pall. Lose strength or effectiveness. Become or appear boring, insipid, or tiresome, too. The course palled on her. Tennis. A score consisting of winning a game when your opponent was serving. He was up 2 breaks in the second set. Breaking of hard tissue such as bone. The break seems to have been caused by a fall. Enter someone's virtual or real property in an unauthorized manner, usually with the intent to steal or commit a violent act. Be released or become known, of news. Fail to agree with. Be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. It was presented without commercial breaks. Lessen in force or effect. Break a fall. An escape from jail. The breakout was carefully planned. Interrupt a continued activity. Force out or release suddenly and often violently something pent up. Break into tears. Any frame in which a bowler fails to make a strike or spare. The break in the 8th frame cost him the match. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Break a law. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Do a break dance. Kids were break dancing at the street corner. Prevent completion. Break off the negotiations. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Terminate. Break a lucky streak. Surpass in excellence. Break a record. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The act of breaking something. The breakage was unavoidable. Happen. Break down, literally or metaphorically. A pause from doing something, as work. We took a 10-minute break. Stop operating or functioning. Fracture a bone of. Reduce to bankruptcy. My daughter's fancy wedding is going to break me. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. Break a piece from a hole. Break a branch from a tree. Make submissive, obedient, or useful. The horse was tough to break. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Move away or escape suddenly. Nobody can break out. This prison is high security. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. They hoped to avoid a break in relations. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. There was a break in the action when a player was hurt. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. The book dealer would not break the set. Cease an action temporarily. Let's break for lunch. An unexpected piece of good luck. He finally got his big break. An abrupt change in the tone or register of the voice, as at puberty or due to emotion. Then there was a break in her voice. A sudden dash. He made a break for the open door. Be broken in. If the new teacher won't break, we'll add some stress. Become punctured or penetrated. Cause the failure or ruin of. This play will either make or break the playwright. Cause to give up a habit. Change directions suddenly. Change suddenly from one tone quality or register to another. Come forth or begin from a state of latency. Come into being. Come to an end. Crack. Of the male voice in puberty. His voice is breaking, he should no longer sing in the choir. Curl over and fall apart in surf or foam, of waves. Destroy the integrity of, usually by force, cause to separate into pieces or fragments. Diminish or discontinue abruptly. Emerge from the surface of a body of water. Exchange for smaller units of money. I had to break a $100 bill just to buy the candy. Fall sharply. Find a flaw in. Break an alibi. Find the solution or key to. Break the code. Give up. Break cigarette smoking. Happen or take place. Things have been breaking pretty well for us in the past few months. Interrupt the flow of current in. Break a circuit. Invalidate by judicial action. Make a rupture in the ranks of the enemy or one's own by quitting or fleeing. Make the opening shot that scatters the balls. Pierce or penetrate. Render inoperable or ineffective. Scatter or part. Separate from a clinch, in boxing. The occurrence of breaking. The break in the dam threatened the valley. The opening shot that scatters the balls in billiards or pool. Undergo breaking. vary or interrupt a uniformity or continuity. Weaken or destroy in spirit or body. Separate substances into constituent elements or parts. Lose control of one's emotions. Make ineffective. Martin Luther King tried to break down racial discrimination. Stop operating or functioning. Collapse due to fatigue, an illness, or a sudden attack. Fall apart. Make a mathematical, chemical, or grammatical analysis of. Break down into components or essential features. Cause to fall or collapse. Use up all one's strength and energy and stop working. Stop operating or functioning. Disappoint, prove undependable to, abandon, forsake. His sense of smell failed him this time. Be unsuccessful. Where do today's public schools fail? Fail to do something, leave something undone. She failed to notice that her child was no longer in his crib. Stop operating or functioning. The engine failed on the way to town. Prove insufficient. The water supply for the town failed after a long drought. Fail to get a passing grade. She studied hard but failed nevertheless. Fall short in what is expected. She failed in her obligations as a good daughter-in-law. Get worse. Judge unacceptable. The teacher failed 6 students. Be unable. I fail to understand your motives. Become bankrupt or insolvent. Fail financially and close. A number of banks failed that year. Give to several people. Stop operating or functioning. Give off, send forth, or discharge, as of light, heat, or radiation, vapor, etc. Prove insufficient. End resistance, as under pressure or force. Move in order to make room for someone for something. Break down, literally or metaphorically. Stop operating or functioning. Stop operating or functioning. Become unfit for consumption or use. Cut into cubes. A small cube with 1 to 6 spots on the 6 faces, used in gambling to generate random numbers. Play dice. Become extinct. Suffer from a disease that kills shoots. Become progressively weaker.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.